Hi guys, welcome back to another tutorial. Today we're going to be going over how I made these Wednesday themed cake pops. It's going to be a three-part series. So first we're going to start with the cake pops, then strawberries and pretzels. Now all the molds that I'm going to be using are going to be linked down below. And with that being said, let's get started. To get skin colored fondant, we're going to mix a little bit of pink and yellow. And this is the color that I got. I wanted her to be a little bit pale. Make sure that you always brush a little bit of cornstarch to the molds and make sure that they're really dry so the fondant doesn't stick to it. For the face, I prefer using fondant than chocolate because we're molding her face to be a little bit thinner so she can look like Wednesday. Now you can leave the face like this, but I'm adding a little bit more details to it. I also wanted her nose to be a little bit smaller, so that's what I'm doing here. Okay, so now we're gonna start painting, and I'm using white powder food coloring mixed with lemon extract. You can also use poppy paint. And you guys, this was not perfect. Like, I know this is so bad, but I was using a combination of gel colors and powder food coloring, and her makeup, I made it a little bit messy. I know this is zoomed in, but the face was really small, so I really recommend you guys getting these small brushes. That's honestly what saved me because I didn't have any markers. You could also do that, but I would really suggest you buy a small set of brushes because they really come in handy for the small details. I added a little bit too much lemon extract to my black powder food coloring, and that's why it's smeared. But I still wanted her eyes to kind of pop out, so I really didn't mind, and I just added a lot of lashes. Now I carefully drew in the eyebrows, and I made a dozen cake pops, so I made 3 little faces, and then you guys are gonna see the next 3 that I made. For these 3 cake pops, I wanted to make the thing, so it's the small hand that goes on top of Wednesday. And I'm just kind of showing you guys a short tutorial on how I made it. It wasn't perfect. I'm not gonna lie, it wasn't as easy as I thought, but you pretty much just pretty much the shape that I did, and I added the small fingers. Now I'm using a little bit of water to blend everything together, kind of blended everything together. It's better, also make sure to get yourself some chocolate tools because modeling chocolate is hard to work with. Okay, so now that you have everything attached on there, you're gonna want to smooth it out using your fingers, and I know this part is a little bit harder because the hand is so small. Now right here I'm adding some details to the hand, make it look a little bit more realistic. Now right here I'm adding some fingernails. Make sure that you make the details a day or 2 before just so it can harden, and that way they're not as fragile when you're handling it. Now I'm just going to add the scars, and I'm just using a knife for that. I added black to the scar, and I also added a little bit of red after, and then I'm just adding some color to the hand. Now you're going to want to set that aside, and we're going to work on the next 3. Now for these 3, I'm using a frame mold. I'll be linking it again down below. I'm using fondant on the frame, but honestly, chocolate would be a better idea just because it holds its shape better. The thing is, you just have to be a little bit more careful taking it out. But as you guys can see right here, the fondant is soft, but it will harden as time goes by. That's why I'm telling you guys to make them a day or 2 before. Okay, now I'm working on the spider that's gonna go in the middle of the frame. I just made 2 small balls, one bigger than the other. I glued it together using a little bit of water or edible glue. Let me know if you guys would like a tutorial or the recipe for the edible glue. Okay, so now that you have your spider and the legs, we're gonna work on the back of the frame. I'm just rolling some purple fondant, and I'm adding a little bit of glitter to it. Now right here I'm painting the frame, and as you guys can see, it's easier to manage, so it's holding its shape a little bit better. I also will leave the the silver luster that I use down below. It's from Amazon and I mix it with lemon extract. I glued the frame on top of the fondant with some edible glue. You can also do chocolate or maybe water. Right here I'm adding the spider before the frame, which is totally fine. The thing is, I just wanted the legs to be 3D coming out of the frame, so that's what I'm doing here, gluing everything with edible glue. I also wanted to mention that I made the strawberries, so I made about 6 frames just because I wanted everything to come together. I would also suggest that you sketch everything out before you start so you kind of have an idea of what you're doing. Okay, so now back to the spider. Of course, I made 8 legs, so 4 and 4 on each side. Just make sure that they're sharp, that they look a little bit like scary. Right here, I'm showing you guys another short clip on how I made the spider. This was such a fun theme to make, and just remember that I'm always here. If you guys have any questions, just ask them down below, and I'll try my best to help you guys. Okay, so now that we have all the details, we're gonna start making our cake pops. Okay, so now we're gonna shape our cake pop, and we're gonna leave a little bit of a space because we're gonna be adding the face on it. Okay, so once we have the face, we're gonna put it aside and let it harden. Okay, now for the thing, I'm just dipping a regular round cake pop in some black chocolate, and then I'm adding a little bit of glitter, and then I'm adding the hand on top. Make sure that you're always removing the excess chocolate so nothing drips. Once the hand is on there securely, you can set it aside, let that harden. Okay, so now this is how I made the hair on Wednesday. It's just black fondant. You can also do modeling chocolate so it can taste better. I'll be linking this tool down below because it made the hair so realistic. And now I'm doing the other side. Now, once your cake pop hardens, we're gonna add the hair. I'm gluing everything together with some water. You can also do chocolate or edible glue. You guys can kind of see also the shape of the cake pop itself. It's a little bit flat just because I'm adding all these extra details to it. I'm sure there's a better way to make her hair, but I was just having a little bit of a hard time making it. So this is just how it came out. Okay, so now I'm going over the hair again just to make it a little bit deeper. Now for the bangs, I'm just adding a small piece of fondant and again using the tool to make the hair. Now we're just putting it on top of her head and she's all done. I also made 3 other cake pops that I don't know what happened to the videos, you guys, but it's pretty much just 3 gray cake pops. And I added some bats to it, which I'll be linking down below. And then I added black glitter and black powder food coloring to give it more dimension. I'll be showing you guys a picture at the end. Okay, so now let's just put the frames together. This is just purple chocolate, and then I'm gonna add the frame once it's almost semi-hard so the frame doesn't go all over the place. Okay guys, and that concludes part 1 of the Wednesday theme series. I hope that you guys enjoyed this tutorial. Right here are all the treats together. There are the 3 gray ones that I made with some black glitter and bats. I thought it was such a cute theme. We're going to be learning how to make the strawberries next, and then we're going to end our series with the pretzels. So I can't wait to see you guys next time, and I hope that you guys give me a follow and hit the like button because that really helps me a lot. Thank you guys so much.